there was about 20 of us on the trip. There was, 21. There was 18 kids and 3 adults. We had a man who's now the headmaster of Landmark, Mike Titus. He works for an organization called Source of Light, East Africa, and they deal mainly in Kenya, and it's a mission organization there. And Mike will make about 4 or 5 trips a year to Kenya, and I think this was his 22nd trip. But and we had a teacher, Ms. Husmano from Landmark, and our campus pastor, Russell McGuire. And so a regular day, we would get up, we would eat breakfast, and we go to our first school. We go to 3 or 4 schools a day, and the school might be 10 minutes away from our hotel, or it might be 2.5 hours away. We didn't know, but we get up, we go, and when we get there, we start off by singing a song. We would sing one song, and then we would do a skit. And we had 1 or 2 skits we would do. We just swap them off at each school. And then one of the students would get up and we'd share our testimony. And each student did that at least one time throughout the course of the trip. Some did it more. I did it twice. A few did it 3 or 4 times. But and then after we did that, one of our leaders, Mike, or Russell, would get up and they would give a message. And at the end of each message, we would give an invitation call. And there might be 20 kids that would come forth, and there might not be any. But either way, we would stay for 30 minutes, an hour, however long it took after the service, and we would hang out. We'd talk to the kids, as you saw in the video. And we get to share time with them one-on-one and just get to learn what they're going through. And the more schools we went to, the more kids we talked to, we found out that the things that we go through here as teenagers and things that they go through there aren't so different. And that, I think that all hit us as a group really hard, because you don't expect thousands of miles halfway across the world for them to be going through the same thing day to day as you are. And I think that was really eye-opening for each one of us. But and I think the most eye-opening thing was hearing all their stories and what they've been through. And I can't even imagine most of the things that the guys I talked to, some of the girls I talked to, the things that they've been through in their life, I can't imagine going through. And still the joy and the faith that they have. One day we had an opportunity to go to an organization called Care for AIDS, and actually a guy that graduated from Landmark started Care for AIDS, and he now lives in Kenya. And he went on a mission trip to Kenya when he was in high school, the same trip that we went on, and it inspired him to start Care for AIDS. And what Care for AIDS does is it takes people around Kenya in different cities, Eldoret, Nairobi, and they have, in 2007 they had one building, and now they have 6 different locations around Nairobi itself, around that city. And so it's growing rapidly. But what Care for AIDS does is it'll take people and they supply medicine through a hospital in Nairobi. They're able to supply medicine to the AIDS patients, and they live there and they take care of them. And the one we went to was stationed at a church. It might be stationed. They might be stationed somewhere like in a school or just an old warehouse, but this one was stationed at a church. And when we went there, Care for AIDS will teach them a trade. They're there for 8 or 9 months before they graduate from Care for AIDS, and they'll teach them a trade. They'll give them medicine and get them clean. And then when they're able to go back to their families, they have something they can do. And we got to go around and visit families. And I think that was the most humbling day of my life. And we went around to one family, and we walked through the streets of the slums. And the father's name was Peter, the mother's name was Elizabeth, and their little daughter's name was Rachel, and she was 5 years old. And they both had AIDS. Peter and Elizabeth were both living with AIDS. And they lived in like every family, every person in the city did,
And so we went there, and Peter had a shack outside of his tent hut, and that was his store. That was what Carefree had taught him, was how to be a tradesman, how to sell things. So he had sodas, and he had magazines, and hair supplies, and a lot of the most random things you can think of he sold out of this little shack. And there's 7 of us that went in and met him and his wife and his daughter, and he offered us each a free soda, which over there isn't cheap. And Peter probably made less than $1 a day in our money, and he offered each of us a free soda, just like that. It was the most welcome that I've ever felt in a place. And I've thought about them a lot since I've thought about each person I've talked to a lot, but especially that family since I've left. But one of the things that really hit me, and I think it hit all of us, our verse when we went over there was Ephesians 6:19-20. It says, "And pray on my behalf that utterance may be given to me in the opening of my mouth to make known with boldness the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that in proclaiming it I may speak boldly without speed." And Mike, each night after we get done going to schools and we come back to the hotel, we would have about an hour where we'd all sit down and we talk about the day and things that we experienced through the day. And Mike, one of the things he said the last night was he hates, the 2 words that he hates the most are mission trip. Because people, sometimes I think we can get in this, if we go on a trip, we can get in this mode where, okay, now the trip's over, now it kind of goes back to normal. And you know, like this mission trip high. But it hit us that it shouldn't be like that. That your whole life is a mission trip. And it's not just for 12 days where you go overseas. It's going to Fairburn, going to Union City, to Newton and back. It's wherever you go. That is part of the mission trip. And then I'll leave you guys this morning with the Great Commission. Jesus said, "Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I commanded you. And lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the age." Okay. Thank y'all for letting me speak this morning.
One of the things he said that I thought was so incredibly, that I have experienced as well, I think anyone who's done any mission work has experienced, is that one, humbling. You said the word humble, and it does. It humbles you to experience other people's lives, but also to know how, you said, connection and togetherness, in essence, we're not so different. And that's really one of the things that's so wonderful about mission experiences, is to sit down and share stories and you realize that you have so much more in common than you do apart. And that's one of the things that Christ does, is connect people together throughout the world. And so, Greg, I thank you for sharing that. My hope is that we'll have other mission stories from other folks down the line. Speaking of humbling, you mentioned a funny story to me yesterday about the kid who came down for the water bottle.
Okay.
You want to share that real quick?
Yeah, sure. Our campus pastor, Russell, on Saturdays, we would go to school on Saturday morning. For about 6 hours, we'd be at a rally in whatever city we were in. And this one was in Eldred. And Mike and Russell gave the message that day at the rally. And so Mike didn't tell Russell that at those rallies, most kids were already Christians. And so we didn't really need to give an invitation necessarily. But Mike didn't tell Russell that, so Russell gave the invitation, and it was crickets. Nobody stood up, nobody said anything. And in front of the stage, there was a big table with a bunch of bottled water on it, because you can't drink the tap water in Kenya, it'll make you sick, or make us sick. And so there's a bunch of bottled water, and in the very back row, a kid stands up
sharing, Greg, appreciate it so much. And Jude will sing in just a minute, Amazing Grace, which is selected by